February 9th, 2004. It was snowing late in Massachusetts. That night, my younger sister disappeared on a quiet road. No calls, no messages. It was like she was erased from the world. But it wasn't just an accident. What we discovered after that night only raised more questions. Maura Murray, 21 years old, a college student. Why was she there? And how did she vanish without a trace? And if you were driving down that road that night, maybe you were the last person to see her. Maura was quiet. She always tried to handle things on her own. She went to West Point and later studied nursing. But a few weeks before, something changed. She cried at night, skipped classes for no reason. One day, she sat silently at work, then suddenly burst into tears. She said, "Something is happening." But she never said what. Looking back, maybe that was the warning before she disappeared. That morning, Maura left her dorm quietly. Her room was neatly cleaned. On her bed, she left a note to her professor. "There's a family emergency. I'll be gone for a few days." But no one in our family knew of any emergency. She was seen on campus surveillance walking out alone. A few hours later, she was driving into the snowy mountains of New Hampshire. We still don't know why. Who was she going to meet? Or was she planning to disappear? Looking back, maybe that was the warning before she disappeared. 7:27 p.m. A small rural road in New Hampshire. A local resident called 911. "There's a car off the side of the road. A woman was inside, but now she's gone." It was Maura's car. The front bumper was dented, the airbags deployed. It looked like a minor crash. But the driver was nowhere to be found. No blood. No footprints in the snow. When the police arrived, Maura was already gone. The car wasn't locked. The driver's seat was empty. On the passenger seat, a printed hiking map, an empty box of wine, an unopened energy bar. Was she planning to drink while driving? Or was someone else supposed to be with her? In the back seat, they found her tournament-level math notes and one of her favorite books. But her wallet, her ID, her cell phone? Gone. Even the car keys were missing. Was Maura trying to erase her own tracks? Or had someone else already erased them for her? The first person to see Maura's car was a retired bus driver who lived nearby. He saw the red sedan sitting by the road through his window and called 911 immediately. Before the police arrived, he said he spoke with her briefly. I asked if she was okay. She said she'd already called for help. But she hadn't made any call. Her phone records were silent during that time. Even stranger, he claimed he saw someone with a flashlight inside the car. Not in the driver's seat, but in the passenger seat. By the time the police got there, the car was empty. Only a few minutes had passed. When the police arrived at the scene, Maura was gone. Inside the car, only the signs of a driver remained. Both the driver's and passenger seats were empty. The airbags had deployed. But there was no blood. But the strangest thing, there were no footprints in the snow. It had only been less than 10 minutes since the call was made. Could someone really leave the vehicle and vanish in that short window, without leaving a single trace? No direction of travel, no drag marks, nothing. It was as if Maura herself had disappeared into thin air. That night, a local woman reported seeing something strange outside her window. Beyond the snow-covered field near the woods, she noticed a shadow moving. A figure, just barely visible in the moonlight, walking slowly into the forest. Was it Maura? Or someone taking her? She said she froze in fear. Didn't move, didn't speak, just watched. And then, the shadow disappeared into the snow. Inside the car, they found a strange mix of items. An open box of wine on the passenger seat. Clothes and a stuffed animal in the back. A trace of alcohol, possibly with codeine, beneath the driver's seat. But what was missing was just as important. No wallet, no phone, no credit cards, no travel itinerary, no note of where she was going. Nothing. Had she left in a hurry? Or was this all part of a plan? The car sat silent, filled only with fragments of her and questions. The police quickly brought in search dogs to follow Maura's scent. One dog sniffed around her car, then began walking slowly down the snowy road. But about 100 feet in, it suddenly stopped. No more scent, no trail to follow. It just stood there, confused. It was as if someone had picked her up, right at that spot. But there were no footprints, no tire marks, nothing. Maura had vanished into the quiet white. We couldn't just sit and wait. The police told us, "We're not even sure it's a real disappearance. She's an adult. Maybe she just left." My dad, he lost it. He shouted, "My daughter didn't run away." We searched every day, posted flyers, made call after call, but the police, they didn't even check nearby CCTV until days later. By then, the clues were buried, just like the snow. This wasn't just a missing person case, but it felt like we were the only ones who believed that. Time passed, and the tips, they never stopped. I saw her at a grocery store. She's living in Canada. It wasn't an accident. It was a setup. Every theory seemed possible, and none of them felt real. In a dark room, flyers faded, newspaper clippings yellowed, hundreds of threads led nowhere. Maura became less of a person and more of a puzzle, just a name, full of questions. Some even began to wonder if she ever existed at all. Even now, my dad places flowers in front of Maura's photo every month. Same day, every time. She's smiling in that photo, young, full of life. Her room, it's still the same. The bed, the clock, her notebook on the desk. Time moved on. But that room stayed still, keeping a place ready for someone who may return. It's not desperation. It's hope. That day, she drove into the snowy mountains and never came back. We imagined every possibility: an accident, a runaway, a crime, or maybe she chose to vanish. But in the end, we had no answers. Not one. Clues faded. Time blurred everything. Where did she go? Why didn't she say goodbye? And why has no one ever found her? Maura Murray. Her name still echoes as one of America's most haunting mysteries.